Welcome back here with Business Tonight right here on ET Now.
So I've got a very special guest today, Sree Sreenivasan, Dean of Student Affairs and also Professor at Columbia University. Thanks very much for joining us, and it's a great pleasure to talk to you about social networking. Everybody's obsessed with it. Do you think it's overrated?
In some ways, social media is overrated because there's so much hype. Nothing could live up to the hype that exists. But I think there's a lot of opportunities, and we're just getting started. I think it is underappreciated what it can do for business and what roles that the senior executives themselves can play in this.
But do you think in countries like India, when you do visit India, India is still grappling with what to do with social media? I think companies here don't seem to have an idea of how to use social media to their advantage. Do you think there's a huge gap between how India is looking at social media and how some of the Western economies are looking at social media?
I don't think there's as much of a gap because we're all getting started. It's very early in this business, and so we're all just getting started. I think there are the same kind of confusion about what should CEOs do, what the company plan should be, exists in the U.S. also. When I go and I talk to American CEOs, American executives, they don't all have the answers. No one has the answers. And I think some of this, what we are learning is that some of us can learn from India and Indians can learn from America. It's a two-way street in that sense.
We're constantly making the social space as one that's going to change the way we do business or certainly change the way we advertise. Do you think that is probably being a bit too optimistic about its potential?
I think that's part of it, but I think the potential you'll see is in the marketing, in the way you connect with consumers, the way you get attention to your work. If you have a great product, social media can enhance the value of that product, the value of the way people know about the product. But if you have a terrible product, social media will not help.
So then let's ask you that then.
Yeah.
How should CEOs use these tools? I mean, I know there are just a bunch of them in India. We'd really like to follow a lot more, but they're not quite there.
Yeah. So I think you should use it in several ways. One is to kind of listen on social media, not to be just broadcasting. Most people think it's a broadcasting tool. It's a listening tool. It's using it to connect with your consumers, using it to connect with your clients, using it to build value for your company. And if you're a CEO, thinking about being a PR face of the company, not the PR face, but a PR face. I think that's one of the things that those are some of the things you can do.
But do you think there'll be a day in the near future when social media becomes more powerful than mainstream media? Do you
well,
see that
I hope for our sake on this table that it's not true. But I think it's going to be a collaboration of social media and traditional media. They need to work together. It is no longer a kind of competition or a zero-sum game. You have to be using it in conjunction. And you'll see that in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we may not even have a separation. It's the same thing. All media will be social in that sense.
Including cash by the look of it. Look at what Facebook is up to.
You mean virtual goods and virtual cash, yeah? That's something that people want to share, and that means when they're sharing things, they want to share, including the real-life experiences that they have, including sending money to people and having that virtual economy.
I wonder, Sandeep and Sree, whether there'll be a course at Columbia at some point to start learning the concepts of how you do social networking and beyond.
No, in fact, at the Columbia Journalism School, I teach a course on social media, and one of the students said to me at the end of it, "Great class, but you have ruined social media because Facebook was this fun thing where we could just hang out, but it's become another place that you old people are trying to regulate what we say." So my mission is to ruin social media by making you think about it strategically, to make it more practical, strategic in what you're doing, rather than just sharing what you're eating, unless you're a chef or someone who has something important to share in the food realm. Make it a place of business, not just a fun place. It needs to be both.
I know you've had a look at Google+. What do you make of it, and how do you expect Facebook to respond?
Well, Google+ has added in the 10 days or so it's been around almost $7 to $8 billion in market cap to Google. Because people were thinking that Google had lost its shine because of Facebook, Twitter, Groupon, all of these other things. So I think it's much too early to tell what the future of Google+ is going to be, but this is definitely a better experience than their two other efforts, Google Wave and Google Buzz, which had problems. So I think people are joining it now, and they'll see, but do we have the room and time to do one more social network when we're already overwhelmed and barely able to keep up with the things we want to do?
And suddenly we'll wake up one day when all of this will be gone and something brand new will be in there.
We wrap it up here on Business Tonight. Up next.
Well, Supriya is going to be back with the Romans, who are on a rampage.
Oh yes, and they're invading Wall Street. They're combating the debt crisis at home. That story and Lady Gaga being imported right onto your television sets is coming up in just a while on Top 10 this evening.